The Walt Disney Company has released the trailer for Mufasa, their next big Lion King sequel prequel that's supposed to dominate the box office this holiday season. There's just one gigantic problem. Much like many of the other Disney properties that have been shown to the public, it is being showered with dislikes. Today, we will show you the evidence that the Disney brand is damaged and repair desperately needs to be done. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are here to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, give voice to the mainstream middle and the common sense center. Folks, you are here with us today to find out what's going on with Disney in a way that other channels simply will not present. They're too busy trying to get those premiere passes to go watch Tiana's Bayou Adventure one day early so they can get that magical video up. We here on this channel do not care. We care about the truth. Folks, if you like that kind of content, consider clicking the like button and let's dive into the news. We first want to say that the Evil Queen coverage that I have been doing and that Park Place has been doing has gone resoundingly well. Folks, we have simply reported on what could be a policy change at the Walt Disney World Resort. This ties in, I think, by the way, to this brand damage we're talking about, but you can see lots of coverage right now, much of it negative as listed out right here towards us, but that's okay with us because it's getting the news out there. It's sort of, it's the catch-22 that apparently these sites don't understand. The shilling sites and the ideological sites, when they put this out there, it percolates out into the mainstream, and their way of framing the narrative simply doesn't work when there's video. So you can see Inside the Magic covering it, Pink News covering it. Oh, look, there's that Park Place right up there on Google News, Washington Examiner, etc. And that's not all, folks. Like I said, it percolates out to all areas of the spectrum. Breitbart also covering it, so don't despair and think that it's all negative. And eventually, this sort of stuff makes its way out into just the common conscience. And so that's what these other groups don't understand is they attempt to sway folks from not covering it. It simply doesn't work. You can't control the news that way. Now, how do I know that their efforts are failing utterly? Well, folks, the reason that we do what we do, which is tell the truth and try not to put too much of our thumb on the scale, is, well, we think that the market will react positively to us doing so. And Disney is getting a negative reaction from the market, and thereby I would say that those who are aligning themselves with the modern Bob Iger company are also putting themselves into a bad position because look at this. This is an example of how things are simply not working for Disney. Now, of course, you cannot see the dislike numbers on YouTube unless you have the Chrome extension, but that doesn't matter again because there are enough of us out there, especially those covering the news, who have this extension, and so eventually everyone finds out. Well, at least anybody who's paying attention. So here's the trailer. They released this yesterday. It's the teaser trailer, right, for Mufasa, which again is a sequel prequel. And Walt Disney Studios. So this is the main account releasing it. We're not cherry picking, trying to find the perfect YouTube channel to have a ratio. No. Look at all of these. You've got 4.3 million views on Mufasa the Lion King. You have 77,000 likes. You have 138,000 dislikes. Now, the fascinating thing about this is that this trailer doesn't have anything in it that is highly offensive or that is ultra woke. There's no ideological stuff in this. It's CGI lions, after all. But what does it have? Well, again, it has the Disney name on it. And what I would argue, folks, is that the Disney brand must be damaged. That's the only conclusion I think we can come up with here. Yes, I think it's fair to say that this Lion King trailer is boring and it does not have any kind of sensational hook to get people to want to go see it. It's essentially nostalgia bait. And maybe that's the fault of the trailer. Maybe that's not the fault of the movie. Maybe the movie will be good. Hard to say, right? Barry Jenkins, of course, is not Jon Favreau, and he's in charge this time. Barry Jenkins, not Jon Favreau. And Barry Jenkins doesn't really have any kind of credits in this area, so it makes one wonder why Barry was selected. But again, everybody has to have their breakout moment. So maybe this is Barry's breakout role as director of Mufasa the Lion King. So far, the likes to dislikes not showing it. But what I would suggest is that because we're seeing this massive dislike ratio happening within 24 hours, It seems to me that there is a built up negativity surrounding the Walt Disney Company that simply cannot be explained any other way. I don't think that this Lion King trailer, which, by the way, The Lion King is one of the most popular franchises that Disney has and has been since the 90s. I don't think there's any way that you could explain to me that suddenly folks have, they're against the Lion King. The Lion King is in the middle of controversy. It's the new Star Wars. No, that simply can't be. And there's really nothing that's offensive about the trailer other than just being boring. So what would drive folks to click a button that doesn't even provide normal visibility anymore, right? The dislikes don't even show up unless you have a special browser extension. So what would cause people to want to do that? What would cause people to turn against a CGI photorealistic lion movie that features Lin-Manuel Miranda, and his songs? Well, the only thing that you could probably say that would explain this is if the Disney brand is absolutely damaged. And that's the evidence I want to present to you today. Take a look at this. It's the same exact thing at Star Wars, only even more. But remember, The Lion King has no connection with Star Wars. The Lion King has not been involved in controversy. For crying out loud, it's a cartoon lion. But here we have it, the Acolyte. The Acolyte from Star Wars, 192,000 likes to almost 700,000 dislikes, ratioed tremendously. This trailer having dropped 1 month ago. So what in the world is going on? Well, folks, the only way that this is explainable, again, goes back to that brand damage argument. And that is why you're seeing such tremendous efforts to silence the critics of Disney, those who would actually report the real news, right? Think about the Evil Queen story again. What are we doing? We're simply saying that they have now invoked a new key after decades, after decades and decades of Disney being what it is. They've introduced an inclusion key. And now that inclusion key exists, a new pillar of their company, we're seeing some folks playing roles that traditionally would not have been available to them. Now, I'm not saying, although I have had plenty of panelists who have different points of view on this. I promise we've had panelists on the channel who take different positions on this particular topic. But I myself, I really haven't given my strong opinion on this at all. It's just reporting the news. What has been the response, though? What has been the response to just saying there's a new system in place apparently, and it's allowing folks to play roles that traditionally have not been played in the past? Well, outrage and fury, and how dare you mention this? And quite a bit of what I would suspect is also botting. So that's something to pay attention to as well. So ultimately, the effort is to silence us. The effort is to make sure that we are castigated and we are put aside and put asunder, and nobody is supposed to listen to us because we're bad people for reporting the news. And that's what the effort has been. And now the Disney shills, I think, are involved in that attempt as well. But that's not fixing the problem. See, that's not fixing the problem because we're looking at Mufasa the Lion King already on its way to a massive ratio. And it's not as if these are bots. It's not as if this is artificial. It's not as if there's some sort of outrage campaign against the Lion King. This is perhaps the best opportunity for us to see that there's real brand damage. Because unlike Star Wars, there cannot be a claim that, well, there's just angry people out there who want to hate on everything Star Wars does. This is the Lion King. Nobody cares. Like, there's no outrage mob. And yet, it's being ratioed. That can only happen if Disney has put itself into a bad position. And the efforts to try to silence folks, it's not paying off. That's how we're getting situations like this post on X that has 5.6 million views with the Evil Queen. Now, many folks out there, of course, and perhaps largely synthetic, have attempted to slam this and destroy this. It doesn't work. It didn't work with Star Wars, right? Remember all the articles? Remember all of the editorials slamming the fans and telling the fans how terrible they were and the fandom of Star Wars is toxic? Remember how when the MCU was trying to be pushed upon society, remember the outrage that came from the journalists, right? The drive-bys trying to claim that, oh, well, this is just a group of horrible misogynists. They hate Marvel, but they hate women. And it didn't work. None of this works. It never works. And that's why we continue to do what we do, is because regardless of what they might say, regardless of their claims, We are on the right side of history. They're not. They run as fast as they can to the moral high ground, but they don't own it and they don't control it because the truth prevails. Because they're busy trying to get on Disney's good side so they can get 12 hours of exclusive content. Meanwhile, we're paying attention to the broad consensus of society. And that consensus will win because there's no way to manipulate society to such a degree that you can force people to somehow agree with your side. You can't censor the internet to such a degree. They tried. They did everything they could. Then Elon Musk bought X, ruined it all for them. They can't control it. And the alternative is unsavory to them. The alternative would be, well, they could get back to making non-divisive, highly enjoyed, high-quality content across all of their company divisions. And folks, again, you can literally tell what happens. Paramount, with their situation, Paramount is Disney, except Paramount doesn't have theme parks. Disney is in the same situation as Paramount. It's just they're subsidizing all of their failures with the theme parks, which have thus far held okay enough to keep the company moving in a forward direction. But in terms of box office, in terms of Disney Plus, in terms of their other streaming services, nothing is going well for this company. Yes, they held off Nelson Peltz because the institutionalists decided, and by the way, also the retail investors decided they didn't want to rock the boat, but how much longer is that going to go with the stock dropping? The stock is going to continue to drop, although I'm not giving you financial advice whatsoever. Don't listen to me on financial advice. But the stock will drop if folks don't go to the box office, if folks don't engage in commerce with Disney. And Disney has driven away their consumers from that commerce. That's where we are. Now, that's not me telling you what's going to happen with Disney stock. That's me telling you if X, then Y equals Z, right? If consumers disengage with any brand, if consumers disengage with any company, then problems are to be had. And that's what this Lion King trailer shows us. 77,000 likes to 138 dislikes. 1,000, that is. Lion King isn't Star Wars. Lion King isn't Marvel. And that's why we can see the brand damage right here. And that's how we continue to know that despite massive efforts to flood folks like myself and those on the team with, what's probably bot swarms of responses all about Shakespeare and Tinkerbell, it's not working. We're working. You are working because you're here for the truth. You're here to find out the news. And that is what we intend to continue delivering to you. And Mufasa is major news. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. And if you're saying to yourself, Pro, where's your guest today? What's going on? Well, folks, the Pro Show is on the way. We will see you at noon Eastern today, live with a huge panel. So we thought we'd just take a break and have it just be me. We rarely do that, but when we do, I think it's a lot of fun. It's great to get to talk to you directly, and we certainly do appreciate you sharing your time with me. It's an honor, as always. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
What? What?
I put out a tweet of a fat minority with a booger in her nose, and I said, "This is an empowered woman." And Kocho retweeted it.
You don't have your own X account, do you?
Oh, well, I actually created it a while ago. The greatest troll I've pulled off in a long time. Do you know how many things I've secretly tanked?
Oh, gosh, I hope not. That would make me legally culpable. But, what are you talking about?
Sweet baby ink.
Huh?
Yep. I'm the...
Shut up.
I'm the CEO. Yeah, no, seriously, look, this is my profile picture. Everyone's just AI. It's great. I'm so excited to gaslight everyone and see what they're gonna like next because they think it's socially obligated.
Wait, so you're... No way, you're
Yep.
the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.?
Maybe. But first, you should see the jewelry company I created.
We're gonna get sued. Oh.
It's yeah, it's gonna be good.